Well, Marlowe Wax is our guest now, and Marlowe, before we get into Clemson, this Army game, they're a tricky team to play against.
Yeah.
What was it like? I mean, you do all that prep. How different was it early in the game to try to get a sense of how to stop that rushing attack?
Yeah, definitely. Army does a lot of different things and a lot of people, but how much preparation do is still hard come Saturday. But they got to us a little bit on the first drive, but we had to just let the nerves down and just get ready for it. And I feel like we stopped the run in the second half.
You certainly did. They didn't get any of those long drives going in the second half. How draining are those drives? It's 16 plays, 19 plays. Is it physical? Is it mental? What's the biggest toll of a drive like that?
It's so different than every other team, but it's definitely a mental game. We know those guys over there. They're not going to fall mentally at all. They're hardworking guys, but that's where they try to hit us. But we just had to make sure that didn't happen. At halftime, Coach Baber said that we knew what was going to happen. So we just had to lock in mentally and just lock in and stay together and just do what we do.
I think Dino said after the game, hey, you guys made like one change on defense in the second half. Is it as simple as that sometimes? Like, all right, let's focus on this one thing and we can take care of business.
Yeah, when the offense is just doing the same thing over and over and over again, as simple as it gets. You just gotta bow up and just lock in and stop what they're doing.
4 games in now with Rocky Long as your DC. I think at Purdue, Dino said, hey, he drew up like one new play at halftime. He did this one change last week. Well, what are these halftime adjustments? Because it seems like he comes down with like this one big idea every week he wants to get across to you.
Yeah, he's a mastermind, man. I love being coached by him, but his halftime adjustments, he comes in a little late than how Coach White used to last year, but when he comes in, it speeds up really fast. We got to lock in just to know what we got to do, but it definitely works come second half.
Is there something to the simplicity of it too? It's like, all right, I'm going to give you guys, like, we've got one task here in the second half, and here's what you got to do.
No, yeah, it's definitely like that, or he might just say, do this differently or just do that differently, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be something right. He's got 8 million ideas going into his head. It's like, all right, how do I boil this down to one thing? Huh?
Exactly, yeah. It's crazy.
All right, and here we are, Clemson this week, and, you know, this game, man, has been so close of late. What is the difference this week if it's going to go from being close to being over the top for you guys?
I feel we're tired of those games coming so close and just feeling what we feel after those games. We're going to lock in even more this year. We're going to finish harder, worrying about how we're going to finish in the fourth quarter this year.
And, you know, that's what it was. And it was simple last year in many ways, right? They just started running the ball. And, you know, we saw that last week with Army. How much do you think it's going to be that, you know, physicality, a test of wills kind of thing this week?
Yeah, definitely. Me being in this defense so long, I've come to find out that teams feel like they can run the ball a lot just because our scheme and how we're built, but we're definitely going to bow up differently this come up year, and we know we're not going to let the team do that this year.
Does last week give you confidence of that? Because, I mean, it's not maybe the same thing, but it is the same thing in stopping the run and that being the main thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It definitely gives us a little bit of confidence, but just the way we prepare and the way our mentality now, just come out here, we're not going to let that happen.
I mean, we know Clemson. Like, yeah, they're 2-2, but they're still Clemson. Are you viewing them in the latter category, or how much do you look at what they've done this year and say, man, something's a little off here this year?
No, I feel like Clemson is still Clemson. Still very talented. Still got great coaches over there. And the games that they've lost, they have won in every single category. Talking about passing yards, rushing yards, things like that. But that's how you know that they're still talented and still can get things done. So there's no show arm in them at all.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you look at last week, they had a game-winning field goal lined up in the Duke game. All of the stats were in their favor, except for the final score. You know, Marlowe with us, Marlowe Wax with us. I want to ask you about the idea of you. It always feels like you are in the right place this season, right place, right time. I asked Cinco this last week on the pick you had. You know, he had the play to bust up. He's like, yeah, Marlowe is exactly where he should have been. But is it a sixth sense? Is it intuition? Or is that, you know, film study paid off? Or is it some combo for you?
I mean, it's definitely like the play that Cinco made. We all knew what they were trying to do at that time. They kept trying to attack. They kept trying to attack the boundary and the throws, but definitely a little bit of film study. But it's just also just me running to the ball. But I can't. It's not really luck because it's the work that I put in with my other teammates, just knowing what's coming. So really just me being around there.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it is luck, right? I mean, like, it could be. You could be there by accident, but none of this stuff seems like luck when you're in your fourth year at it, huh?
Right, yeah, 100%. It's just constant work that coaches put on me, and me and my teammates just grind for.
We talked about this preseason, you know, the idea of taking over middle linebacker and being the leader of this group. How is that part, the leader, gone? Now that you've done it in games here this year, how does it feel 4 games in?
No, yeah, it's definitely fun. Definitely it boosts my confidence up a little bit, but definitely still learning new things, learning how to be more vocal, but it's a great challenge.
All right, Marlowe, this is not something I feel is going to need to happen, but I need to know this. You were running back in high school. All right, in a pinch, Like if they needed you, could you go back there and take a carry, or is that out of your system right now?
Man, I want to. I need everybody. I need all of Orange Nation to ask Coach Baby for me to just get one carry in the goal line. Let me get one touchdown before I get up out of here.
Okay, so a touchdown. You don't just want to carry; you want a goal line carry.
Yeah, I want a goal line carry. I need a touchdown on my stat sheet before I get up out of here.
All right, I feel good about that. I want to ask Dino about that because it's one of those things, right? Like when you do stuff like that, that's the legendary stuff in the career. That's the memorable stuff, right? You want to leave a mark like that.
Exactly. It's definitely something that I will probably never forget, and just people in Syracuse won't ever forget just how linebackers scoring touchdowns. It's gonna be great if Coach Baby let it happen.
All right, LeQuint might have to let it happen. Do we got to box him out? Like he's been pretty good down there.
No, yeah, cool. That's the thing. LeQuint, he's not letting my chances be too good because he's doing great down there. But I hope they let me just get one.
All right. I kind of want to see that because stuff like that is fun. Going way back before your time, Diamond Ferry was a guy that did that way back in the day.
Really?
So we can we want to put Marlowe's name in the same breath as that. It was almost 20 years ago. Last thing, I mean, this is Clemson, but this is starting a beast of a stretch here. Do you guys look at that with Clemson, Carolina, Florida State, or do you have an ability to ignore that because it is Clemson this week?
I mean, we know how it is. We know how ACC set a schedule up for us, and we're really gonna play the cards that we're dealt. But we're just locking in on Clemson right now. We can't look too far, can't look behind us. We got to look on what's right here in front of us.
That's the advantage of having these all in a row, right? It keeps you locked in.
Exactly, 100%.
All right, Marlo, good luck this week.
Thank you.